Hi guys, it's Nikki with More Than Pretty Paper, and I'm back with another day of Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, Series 20, and this is day 4. The sketch is by Shannon Keith, and that's what it looks like. So here's what I'm gonna do. Now, this sketch shows a lot of like mixed media type stuff over here. I don't usually do a lot of mixed media. I really don't. And I'm feeling particularly lazy today and don't feel like getting it out. So I'm going to improvise. I'm going to keep the same basic kind of structure of the page without the mess. I think you might be able to still see a little bit of that if I leave it laying right there. So we do have 3 pictures. I'm going to use 3 pictures. I have these 3 pictures of one of my granddaughters playing in the pond in the backyard. So I'm going to use those, and then I pulled, since I just went through this, this stuff was laying here. It's a Use It or Lose It Simple Stories collection that I'm going to use, and I probably won't use all of it up right now, but I am going to use it today for this because I thought it was cute and it's what I want to use. So this is where I'm starting. I've already cut this down to mat on just a piece of black cardstock, nothing fancy. But I wanted it to have a little bit of a border, and I didn't really care for any of the patterns that I had out. So we're gonna do that. Now our sketch has kind of a big block of, which I realize is mixed media over here on this side, but that's not what I'm gonna do. I am going to put a block of this down the side, and then I'm gonna mat my photos with this, and then we'll see where I go from there. So I'm gonna work on that, and I'll be back in just a minute, and we'll see what I got going on, okay? Okay, so I went ahead and cut that big block for the background to kind of mimic or take the place of the mixed media. And now I'm going through all the die cut and ephemera pack pieces. I'm pulling out stuff that I know I'm never going to use. Since I've already gone through all the paper and everything in this line, I figure since I'm using it, I'll go ahead and do that. So that's what I'm doing right here is just, real quick picking through and pulling out pieces that I know I'm not ever going to use. And I'm also looking for pieces that kind of work with what I'm doing and laying them there to the side on top of the photos, and the rest of them that I'm going to put in my yard sale stuff is kind of going off to the side there where you can't see it. But so I'm going to pick through there, and once I finally decide on, so I've got a bunch of pieces, and in the sketch there's basically 3 kind of areas of embellishment. So I decided to take that washi tape and, mark kind of where I want those 3 areas to go. And I just set those out with a piece of washi tape, kind of mark it. And then I'm just going to start putting these pieces down. I don't overthink it. I just kind of go with it. And if it looks right, that's what I do with it. I just go with it. I don't overthink where these pieces are going and what, I just don't. I'm not sure what's going on with the lighting here with this. It keeps getting brighter, which is bizarre because my room has no windows. I don't know exactly what's happening there. Anyway, so I'm just going to keep randomly picking up pieces and sticking them down where I think they look the best. And some of them are on foam, some of them are not. And then I went to the sticker sheet and started pulling off a few pieces, and because I wanted to bring in some florals. Oddly enough, there weren't a whole lot of florals in this line, so I really had to dig around to find enough to get them in the areas where I wanted them. And I decided that washi tape was up a little bit too far there on the right side, so I moved it down. And then I'm going to continue adding pieces to my clusters. So I'm putting in and just kind of tucking in little pieces here and there to build those clusters up. And looks like I've got a bunch of label pieces, little small label pieces is what I'm kind of tucking in there now. And I just tuck them in here and there. I wanted to get some more of that peachy pink color here and there. So I tuck in a label. I have a bad habit of having to pick things up and unstick them so that I can restick them because I decide I want something underneath it. And that's what I do fairly often. So I'm just going to continue adding these little pieces. I'm tucking in labels. Some of those little die cut pieces I pulled out. I just try to get a little bit of each color in each grouping or each shape in each grouping. And I decide I'm fairly happy with this. So get the rest of those out of the way. And then I'm going to look at some of the other pieces that I have here. And I had that kind of that title piece there that says happy girls are the prettiest, but I decided to go ahead and add those black so sassy, that black so sassy word up there above that piece. And I like how that looked. It fit really well in that circle piece. And I just kind of like how that looked. So I'm going back and just looking for more little tiny pieces I can tuck in. I find a few little hearts on the sticker sheet and just kind of scatter those around. And then, of course, I'm going to bring in some little word pieces. I use those almost as much as I use enamel dots. So I find a few of those pieces that are going to work, and I tuck those in here and there in my clusters. And then I'm going to see what else is on this sheet. And at some point here, I will decide that I'm done with that. And I'm going to go back in with a couple of these brads. Now, these are actual brads, which are not my favorite, mainly just because I have to poke holes and it's a lot of extra work. Because poking those holes it's difficult. It's very difficult. So, anyway, I figure out where I want those. So I go ahead and get those brads poked in there and put some washi tape on the back of them just because I can't stand when they get hung on the page protectors. And then I, of course, am going to come back in with enamel dots because I don't think I have done a page in the last probably 10 years, maybe longer, that didn't have enamel dots on it. I just don't think a page is finished without enamel dots. And that's my own personal preference. I know some people don't use them at all, ever. And that's totally fine too. I just like the little finish that it gives, that little touch of shine, that little extra dimension. So I tend to finish off every page with some enamel dots or gems or something similar to that. I am not going to do a whole lot of journaling on this particular page because I am going to do another page to go beside it. And that's going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed and thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.